Hey everybody, I'm here with a quick video on jobs in the state of the world today. Right now, what it just seems to be not a good time in this world. And the reason why I'm saying that is, the people that receive SNAP benefits, their benefits are in jeopardy. Everything is up in the air. One minute they're hearing that, the government is stepped in and, they're going to get their benefits. They're not going to get their benefits. Food pantries are overwhelmed. It's a lot going on. And in addition to that, you got the government workers being forced to go to work and not getting paid. And if that wasn't bad enough, you have a lot of companies that are unfortunately laying off people in the droves, like hundreds at a clip. Sometimes thousands of people are getting laid off of their job. And what do you do once you laid off? Like, where do you get money? How do you pay your rent? How do you pay your mortgage? How do you eat dinner at night? It's a lot of devastation going on right now. And as much as, people say, my coworkers are just my coworkers, a lot of times coworkers almost become like an extended family member. Why am I saying that? When you are around somebody 8 to 10 hours out of a day. Now I know there's a lot of remote work now, but those that are still in the office, sometimes you are spending more time with your coworkers than your family. And it is kind of heart wrenching when you hear that your coworker may be on the fifth floor, the fourth floor, the second floor, whatever, or the one right next to you is getting laid off or got laid off. You're thinking, oh my God, you're feeling devastated for them. Why? Because a diva, she got 3 kids. Diva got 3 kids and no husband. Diva got 3 kids and she got her mother and her father that she's taking care of. You kind of know the person's story. And even if the person doesn't have a story like that, maybe the person is just taking care of self, but they still need their job, they need their benefits, and you're feeling a little pain for your fellow coworker or maybe even yourself that is on the list to lose your job. So these people at the magazine company Condé Nast, I guess they heard about some layoffs and how HR in their company decided to handle said layoffs, and they decided they was going to go upstairs to or the area to where HR is and speak to the HR manager and say, listen, can you not just at least have a conversation with us? And those individuals that went approach the HR person, and perhaps they didn't approach them in a perfect way, but when you're emotional, nothing happens perfectly, right? And even when you're not emotional, sometimes things don't happen perfectly. But those individuals ended up getting fired. Now, these companies love to talk about zero tolerance for retaliation, but in the real world, we know unfortunately it happens all the time. So video shows Condé Nast employees confront HR chief before firings. Do you think we're not worth speaking to? And I think a lot of these companies, since you have to go through this, you have to downsize, they need to read some books, take some classes on how to speak to the people. Because after all, even if these people only work for you a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, they deserve, a conversation, regardless of whether they got to go or not. They deserve some type of conversation to say, hey. But anyway, video footage shows Condé Nast employees confronting the company's head of human resources, part of an incident that management characterized as extreme misconduct, leading to 4 unionized staffers' firings, a framing which their union a framing. Do they mean to put firing, which their union rejects? The clips filmed Wednesday outside HR chief Stan Duncan's 34th floor office at the One World Trade Center in Lower Manhattan show about 20 editorial staffers asking to discuss layoffs tied to Teen Vogue's merger with Vogue.com. Duncan declines to engage, repeatedly directing employees to go back to the workplace before retreating into an office. A video obtained by Rap shows. Now there were 20 staffers there. I wonder why only the 4 were penalized. And not that I'm saying I want all 22, but I'm wondering how you picked out the 4. The most brutally awkward thing you'll see today, Condé Nast staffers confront head of HR Stan Duncan over layoffs outside his 34th floor office. 4 of the employees featured in this exclusive video from the confrontation were then fired for extreme misconduct. Let's play.
Congregating. What's congregating? sorry. What's your definition of congregating?
So everyone, we'd appreciate if you would go back to the workplace where you're.
Is there a place that you would be able to speak to us?
Not today. We have other things going on.
Do you think we're not worth speaking to, Sam?
Those are your words, not mine.
But they might be your beliefs.
They're not my beliefs.
Oh, okay. So you do
So
think we're worth
everyone
speaking
should,
to?
everyone should go back to your workplace.
I work here.
To dismiss us instead of talk to us.
You
about
told us
issues
that we had to
came up
come
before.
work in person here 4 days a week. This is our
So
workplace.
is he like a
now.
hot biker now? Or something?
Sam, are you running away from us?
No, I'm directing you back to your place of work.
Okay, where's my place of work?
If you could just go this way, you guys.
Will you come this way with us? No,
No, I'm in a meeting. I'm working.
Okay, well, we have some quick questions. If you answer them, we'd be happy to go back to our desks.
All right. Thank you.
For you?
Thank you.
You don't want to answer any questions?
I've directed you back to your workplace.
Is that a good answer, guys?
Absolutely not. Come on,
That's
Stan.
not a really good answer, Sam.
We're
Dan, these
concerned
are your-
about our colleagues.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
concerned
we're
about
concerned about our
our
company.
and you're disengaging with the employees who work here.
Did you let go of Teen Vogue for political reasons? What are you going to do to stand up to the Trump administration?
It's sad. It is just the overall concept. Do I think this particular employee handled it the best way? No. Perhaps they should have sent the email saying, we'd like to meet with you. We would like for you to talk us through this. A lot of people in the company, they're nervous, we're concerned. So definitely there was definitely a better way to approach it than going kind of gangbusters, so to speak, with a group of employees to confront him in front of his office. But it's just very sad. Hours later, Condé Nast fired 4 union members who participated in the confrontation: Jasper Lo of the New Yorker, Jake of Wired, Alma of Bon Appétit, and Ben of Condé Nast Entertainment, citing gross misconduct and policy violations. Condé Nast also filed a federal labor complaint against the NewsGuild of New York. One clip shows Duncan asking employees to stop congregating outside his office before telling them to leave. What counts as congregating? One asks. What's your definition of congregating? We appreciate it if you would go back to the workplace, to your workplace assignments, Duncan replies. Is there a place that you be able to speak to us? One asks Duncan, do you think that we're not worth speaking to, Sam? Because the HR director is Sam Duncan. This is one of the individuals that got fired. This is Ben Dewey. Those are your words, not mine, Duncan replies, saying he could not speak to them on Wednesday due to other things going on, but they might be your beliefs, he says. They're not my beliefs, Duncan replies. The exec is then seen walking down the hallway before pointing to another part of the floor, telling the group he was in a meeting and could not meet with them. Well, we have some quick questions, he says. If you answer them, we'd be happy to go back to our desks. This is another individual that got fired, Jasper Lo. All right, leave, Duncan said before walking back toward his office. After he presses him on his refusal to answer questions, Duncan insists, I directed you back to your workplace. We're concerned about our colleagues, an employee says off camera. Another clip shows Duncan standing outside his office, asking the angry employees to move forward toward the other side of the floor before entering his office and closing the door. We'd like to answer questions. We'd like you to answer questions, he says again. We'd love to move forward. Condé Nast suggested that there's more to the story than the clips show. I'm sure there is. There always is, right? The video footage shared by the union captures only a portion of the incident, a company spokesperson told the Post. Several additional minutes are missing from their version. Condé Nast previously characterized the union members' conduct as aggressive, disruptive, and threatening behavior, saying it would not be tolerated. And I can believe, honestly, that this thing was out of control. And we got the clip that the union reps wanted us to see. The media conglomerate said Thursday it must provide a workplace where every employee feels respected and able to do their job without harassment or intimidation. The company added that the firings followed behavior that crossed the line into targeted harassment and disruption of business operations. They gathered together in mutiny. And for writers of magazines, it is interesting that they didn't perhaps come together and do a joint email to send versus going for a verbal confrontation. So union leaders said the video disproves Conde's justification for the firings. NewsGuild of New York President Susan told the rap that the footage speaks for itself, arguing the employees were clearly exercising their legally protected right to engage in concerted action, and that management was inaccurately spinning the events to justify firing 4 of our members in an attempt to intimidate our union. The Carver called Conde's management conduct outrageous and false, accusing executives of trying to bully them into silence. She said, demanding answers from management as a group in a common collective action workers take when necessary to hold management accountable. I see both sides, right? I see both sides, but I'm gonna say this clearly: the executive from, I'm trying to go back to this picture, the executive from the oh, it doesn't, there he is, I'll land it here. The executive of HR, he wasn't scared with all those people. So for them to say threatening and intimidating, if I felt intimidated and threatened, I'm definitely not going to walk out my office, walk down the hall past everybody and show y'all where y'all could go back to your workplace. I would stay in my office where I feel more protected and then tell y'all what I got to say and then close my door. Now, if y'all start busting down the door, then that's intimidating and all that other stuff. But when it comes to people's livelihood, their health insurance, their medical insurance, them feeding their families, they're paying their rent, or paying their mortgage, perhaps, is going to get people emotional and riled up. And I do think that companies, and it's not every company, they need to find a better way to deliver information that if they have no other choice but to deliver. It's just sad how employees are treated, especially employees that perhaps have been working for companies 5 years, 10 years. Listen, even if you was working there just a year, I think that these companies got to learn how to deliver information better, treat employees better, because I know that they would not themselves want to be in limbo and treat it the way that they treat employees. But on the flip side, do I think that the employees could have handled this in a better and different way? Absolutely. And knowing that they're writers for magazines, they got the power of a pen. And they could have just simply expressed that, rumor mill in a company is about all these layoffs. Everybody's emotional. Everybody's on edge. We're hearing that, these 2 magazines merge and our coworkers are afraid they're going to lose their job and we're afraid too. Can someone from HR just have a meeting with us and allow us to ask questions and voice our concerns? So, but because this is union people, I feel like they're going to end up getting their jobs back, right? Anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this story. Let me know your thoughts if you ever been fired from a job. And if so, do you think they handled it appropriately? Or do you think they just treated you like trash and it was like, it's a wrap and whatever, see you later, get your stuff off your desk and here go the paperwork, I'll file for unemployment, I don't know, file for COBRA for your health insurance and live your best life. Thanks for being an employee. See you later. Anyway, guys, chat with me. I'll chat back. I'll see you in the next video.